Good morning, everybody. How are you?
Good morning. Good. How are you?
Good. I'll be right with you.
My lighting is off, but we'll be all right. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning.
Maybe we'll just give it a couple minutes and then just go ahead and get into it. Hopefully we can be pretty quick. Okay, let me see. We have, okay, so we'll wait for Chuck. Let's see, we've got Joe. We've got, we can always just push that one back. It's gorgeous. So Haley and Kelly, will you be able to speak at all on behalf of the educators in redistricting if we don't see those co-chairs today? Generally speaking.
Sure.
Why not?
Why not?
I guess redistricting, I'm thinking funding and governance, but anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And I think Tika was hoping to join us as well, but school's back in session, so we'll give her a break. All right.
The best noise right now is hearing all the kids playing outside at recess.
Oh, that's right. You're right. You're like, are you right over the fence?
I can see the school from here down the path. But it's just music to my ears.
Sounds like normalcy. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it and see what we've got. We are, let's see, today is the 10th, right? So we are just shy of 2 weeks away from really being back from the summer by having our first full body meeting. So welcome back from summer, everybody, for our first planning meeting. Haley, I like the way that you opened that email where you're just like, you're gonna have to be hearing from me again. So always happy to hear from you. Oh, there's Tika. Oh, great. I'm just gonna run through the agenda, pretty straightforward. We'll start with, what we need to know about the status of each work group. So we can kind of anticipate where we're gonna be in terms of September 23rd report out. So for those of you co-chairs who are on or staff liaisons, the main thing is kind of what's your next meeting look like? Where do you expect to be for the 23rd? And are you doing any membership adjustments to the work group that we need to know, or would you like to, that we should know about? So we'll just go through the list. I don't see Ray. So Jeff, I guess it's all yours. How are things going?
Good. So we are meeting next Monday, or this coming Monday. We do plan on revisiting our work group membership, kind of just calling it general housekeeping. We're going to see check attendance, kind of extend. We're going to look at membership, and then I think we definitely would like to, as we kind of refocus and reset what the purpose is for the group, using the conversations we've had with you and Matt last spring. We had a couple of meetings. There's Ray and I, we met and talked a little bit about where this group fits and should be charged with moving forward. After we have that conversation, I think we'll be ready to, see who else do we need on the group. I think, Ray has pointed out it'd be great for us to add some parents and student voice to the table. So I think we're really just looking at the 13th as kind of a resetting and a refocusing and a reorganization opportunity, and then chart our path forward from there. That's the sense that I'm getting from our conversations, and Ray and I have touched little base over the summer, just emails a couple here and there. So if Ray had anything to add, I'll defer to her.
Good morning, everyone. You've covered it well. Thank you.
Great. So for the September meeting, we'll just, sorry, go ahead, Ray.
I'm sorry. Matt's going to give an update. Was that already said?
Oh, at that meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. In our agenda, we do have a regroup, refocus, and then Matt's going to share the status of the recommendations, where they are, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the monitoring process, data collection. We're going to kind of hit some of those things that Kelly has been working on with the data collection sheets that people have been working on. Like, how are we going to track and monitor the initiatives now that they've been funded? So that is part of the discussion. I guess regrouping around that is important too, like getting everybody back in the saddle and knowing where we are. So, and Matt is definitely has a space in that discussion.
Excellent. So then we'll sort of expect whatever you've processed and settled on to be what we hear in the report out on the 23rd. Great. And then, and then I'm not sure where we are in terms of everyone being apprised on this, but we do have some staffing evolution, which actually has direct impact on social determinants. So how much does everyone know about that? So Jason Burke, who has done so much and worked so hard with the consortium in Red and the social determinants in particular, is kind of getting pulled onto other projects, but we just so happen to have the marvelous Shelley Rouser already engaged with the consortium, and she's going to be stepping up where Jason is stepping back, right, Shelley? So did you want to, I'm going to put you on the spot and let you reintroduce yourself to folks if there's anyone in the room who doesn't already know you.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Shelley Rouser, and I am Chair for Education at Delaware State University. I'm going to be serving as point person for Writing Consortium for DSU. Jason has been pulled into some other projects and stepped by my office to ask me if I would be willing to step into this role. And so looking forward to working with you all in this latest capacity. As far as the social determinants group, we didn't talk about exactly how those roles would be fleshed out. I am on the settlement group, so we'll be, he and I will connect and stay tuned on that part of things. Jason, did you want to say anything about that?
So that's been a conversation Haley and Kelly and I have been having. So I think, rather than, Dr. Rouser being kind of thrust into taking over for me, I think it's going to be one of the team that kind of has been around. And I'm not disappearing suddenly, but I will be kind of transitioning away as people transition in.
Jason, I don't know whether it'd be complimentary of you or not. The way you said she's thrust into it implies that Ray and I require a lot of management. But
No, not at all.
I'm just not sure where that's going,
That's
but
funny.
it's great to have you on board, Shelley.
Okay, and that's good
Thank
to
you so
know.
much,
Yeah.
Jason. Just want to thank Jason, and we'll thank you officially at our group's meeting, but you've been awesome, so thank you. And we work with Dr. Rouser and look forward to deepening our relationship.
Absolutely.
It's a wonderful team.
It really is. I'm really excited. So yeah, so some of the particulars our core team will figure out in terms of like who the liaison.
I think it was actually bumping into my work with Ray, to be honest with you. We have some conflicts there too with that, with the WCEP meetings. It was, I think even
Oh.
Monday, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully this will integrate things.
Absolutely. Yep. So glad to be here. Thanks, everyone.
Excellent. Okay, so I think you covered everything there, social determinants. Does anybody have any questions? Is that Dawn's hand? That looks like a new emoji that I've never seen. Dawn, are you raising your hand? All right.
I am not.
Oh,
Did you say
oh.
Dawn? No.
Yeah. Oh, I saw a little hand on there. Okay. Anyway, settlement committee. Chuck, I think it's all you today.
Yep, it's all me. Erin is dealing with some beginning of the year stuff as a school leader. You can imagine it's super busy for all of us. Settlement, we do have a meeting coming up. It's going to be, we're kind of treating this as like the first of our next year, where we're just going to review where we were, take a look at the settlement, what's going on and what we expect coming out of this next budget season coming out. As we all know, governor's recommended budget should be coming out in the December to January timeframe. And we'll review to see if there's any additional things we expect to see in there as that comes out. We also have our eye on the ombudsperson program, which we know that there was an RFP put out, but we haven't really seen an award for that yet. So we're taking a look, and I see that there's a down further in the agenda, there's active RFPs. Secretary Bunting might get a question on that. So that's something we need to hit as well. As for membership updates, I'm not always plugged in 100% to all the comings and goings. So if we're losing members, it should be evident to us at our next meeting, who's engaged, who's not engaged. Every so often we get like an email out of the blue, hey, I want to be part of your group. And, at first we would take a look at all those and say, what do you think? But it happens on the regular now. So I don't know that we're looking to add people, but we do have, some folks who have self-nominated over time, but we know that there's a process to add folks. We would bring them all through this group. Besides that, I don't think we have anything else. If you want to see what's going on, come join us on the 16th at 5:00.
That sounds great. And well, you did have there is one significant membership addition. I heard confirmed earlier in our chair meeting, right? Sarah Stones from Rodell, I believe, is joining. I don't know if you have any attrition, but I believe that's one addition being made to settlement, which sounds great, And so I think you're in the same boat that most of us are in, and I think that we will generally be in for the September 23rd meeting, which is sort of like, remember all this good work that we were doing, and here's how we're going to be doing it in the months to come. So, and I think a lot of the action is there in those two work groups that we've just heard from. And I'm glad you'll have the opportunity to kind of reconnect with your membership and bring to us any insight in planning that comes out of that on the 23rd. So
Just another note too on RFPs, the one we're looking forward, not looking forward to like, hey, we anticipated it's going to be wonderful and great, but we're looking ahead on the calendar too is involvement in the funding study. So that's something we expect to see in the governor's recommended budget this year, is some, indication of what's going to go on there. So that's something we're looking at too. So that's, everybody keep your eyes open for that and ears open too.
That sounds good. 1 second, I'm looking at a couple messages there. John, okay. Scheduling conflict for Representative Williams. At that, it looks like Dawn will be able to relay. That's great. Okay. Kelly, you're kind of on the spot for educators, but I think you had something for a settlement that maybe you wanted to bring to our attention as well.
Yes, so I was just looking at the DOE RFPs, and it looks like the Delaware Ombudsperson program was reposted today. I haven't looked at what's different yet, but we can definitely share that at the settlement meeting if Chuck and Aaron would like. So that's up. And then so are our 3 other RFPs that the consortium recommended as well, the full day preschool, professional development, and the wraparound services. So those are up. And to transition into educators, oh my gosh, I almost said Matt and Noel. Mike and Noel, Representative Smith and Noel are just kind of watching when we're watching to see when the RFP went up, and we'll work behind the scenes and to set up some milestones to see what's going on. So,
Right. Yeah.
and that
educators-
monitoring.
Right, into the monitoring function. So, and probably no membership alterations there because it's really going more into a monitoring pattern. And do we think we'll have any meat on the bones for that on the 23rd, or really just a reminder that that's kind of where things are headed? For the
Probably more of a reminder that it's coming, and then I'll work with them some more on it.
Okay. Good. And then, of course, we have, we have this intention that we've stated both in full body meetings and planning meetings to, to sunset funding and governance and establish this new working group focused primarily on redistricting. That body is not formed yet. So membership updates, I guess, is all that one is focused on. And even sort of leadership of that particular entity. So good to have it on the list, but I don't think we have anything to report at this stage, Haley, right? And Matt, that's just sort of a work in progress at the staff and co-chair level.
Yep.
Anybody have any questions about that? Okay. And then of course we've got our draft agenda for September 23rd, which I think I think all of our conversations up until this point have indicated will be relatively straightforward. I think, for famous last words, I will knock on wood. I think it'll probably not be one of our longer meetings. But, of course, just want to refresh everyone, bring our membership back together. We will have a couple of changes in that regard, that we can follow up with you as they become official. And, basically just talking about the path forward, reinforcing what we got in terms of our recommendations in the budget and how those are actually being operationalized. So that includes looking at where the different RFPs stand relevant to our work. And, I think have someone from the department already involved with Reading be there to field any questions about how that all is going. And then of course, work group updates to the extent that, sort of reminding folks what the path forward is to the end of the year. And so I think a pretty straightforward agenda. Any questions or concerns about preparation for that? Okay, good. All right, so moving into public engagement. We know we've had the Reading newsletter. How many have we done all together in the past? Like, how long have we been doing it? How many have we done?
Let's see. I want to say like 5.
Yeah, kind of every other month or so we were doing it.
We're doing it monthly. So we started.
Monthly.
Started in February and did one till June.
Okay.
Pause for the summer.
Yeah. Were we still seeing the kind of results, or what do they call it, the metrics of audience engagement? Did that stay pretty consistent?
Yeah, we had pretty good, these are just sort of bare bone metrics, but pretty good like open rates and click rates for our emails. They were all sort of above the averages that you see, like the typical industry averages. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. Like we get pretty good engagement on them.
That's good. I mean, to me, it seems natural to continue with it. I guess I would ask you all in terms of capacity, if monthly is, I don't know, I must have gotten bi-monthly in my mind because we have our full body meetings bi-monthly. Monthly seems like a pretty, a heavy lift, but if it's not, and we're getting people continuing to open the emails and engage with information, that's fine. But so there's a pretty good system there to put that out monthly. It's not problematic.
Pretty good. Bi-monthly might be a little bit more doable. Maybe we could try it out like that for a bit and see how the engagement, if it shifts at all.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking in terms of if we're getting people to open it and pay attention to it, it might be good to try to align it with getting people to come and participate with our full body meetings. And so that, would make more sense bi-monthly probably.
And we can always send out some sort of special one if there's like something going on.
Yeah. So that would be my suggestion to think about doing it that to sort of drive attention to the upcoming meetings, or maybe just after, but probably better to do it beforehand. And I think it's been great. I like looking at it. I like forwarding it to folks. So I think that's been really well done. Anyone else have any thoughts or suggestions on that particular front? And then, we're always looking for additional ideas on engaging the public with our work. And so that's sort of an open question there. I know we had a few different irons in the fire, just sort of in terms of brainstorming. So that might be something we want to revisit. I know Tika's here, although maybe you're otherwise engaged. But Tika's always had really great ideas. I know we kind of charged her with helping, push that more into the impacted communities, where we struggle the most, I think, to have people know what we're working on exactly. And I think, oh, that's a good question, Ray. Matt and I have not gone together as the chairs of Reading on DETV to talk about Reading. I've been on some DETV programs and mentioned it, but not in like a very focused way. I think that's a really good suggestion. I think especially with sort of the monitoring and, the fact that we've actually secured resources for programs that will be rolling out this year, I think it's really important to make sure that we let people know about that. And that's one particular good way. So, I know it's tough on the spot to come up with brand new ideas, but if that's something that folks can just be thinking about, generally speaking, but particularly in the context of your own work groups, that just should be always be part of our thinking as well, to make sure that we're letting people know what we're doing, and hopefully encouraging them to participate in various ways. DETV does seem to have a pretty strong social media. I feel like they put everything on Facebook at the very least. Your question, Tika. But yeah, so everyone's ideas are welcome on that. Please think and let us know. I know everyone's probably bombarded with 1,000 different things, but yeah. All right, well, that's the agenda. If no one has any particular thoughts, yeah, I don't think anybody watches their cable channel either. I agree, Tika. I didn't even know they had one. I actually thought it was mostly on social media. So if no one has any other thoughts or questions or concerns, I'm good with wrapping up. So just give it a second to see if we have anybody else, anything to add, or I don't think we have any public to make public comment. Is that right? It's all the team here. So, all right, going once, going twice. What's that? Oh, uh-oh. All right, well, that's a big idea. All right, Ray's put a big idea on our plate, and
We can save it for the next time, but DETV reaches close to 500,000 households.
yeah.
And it goes beyond the geographic scope of the charge of the Reading Consortium, but it is everyone, unfortunately, educators are not readers. And so a 30-minute show where Reading controls a narrative once a month or once a quarter, I think would reach a significant number of people,
Yeah.
and with a different modality.
Yeah.
So we can talk about it the next time.
Yeah. I think that's good. I know Patty Nash, who used to be the PIO at Red Clay, is producing there now, and that's certainly someone we could be talking to about what that might look like, and making sure that how the capacity would be affected to do that.
I didn't say educators are not readers, Tika. I said I apologize to the educators for the statement I was about to make, that everyone is not a reader.
Yeah. Well, I'm not the reader I used to be. Sometimes when you get really busy, you don't have time to read all the things you'd like to read. So I understand that. Readers who don't have time to read might be the better way to put it. But so, okay, I like it. I think that's something we can definitely talk about more next time and explore, and we know who to talk to explore it. So if no one has anything else, I think that we can close out. All good. All right, great. All right, well, everyone have a great weekend. Welcome back to the fall and the busyness. And see you on email, and see you next week in meetings.
Sounds good. Bye.
Weekend, everyone.
Ooh.